What's up guys, this is Ben from RadTech, and today we are on to video number 6 of our PC building series, and today we're talking about hard drives. These days, storage comes in all shapes and sizes. We got big, thick guys like this guy, which can go all the way up to 16 terabytes and probably more soon, all the way down to this tiny little stick of gum, which can go up to 2 terabytes in this tiny little size, and probably more in the future too. Storage drives are made with 2 different types. You have hard drives and you have solid state drives. You'll see these as HDD and SSD. Hard drives are usually bigger because it's a physical disk inside that's spinning while the drive reads and writes the data. This is why on hard drives you'll see RPM as one of the specs, and that's because it's the speed of the disk that's spinning inside. Typically your 3.5-inch drives will hold a lot more data compared to your 2.5 drives, but it'll obviously take up a lot more space. Your 2.5 drive and some SSDs are more or less the same size. Samsung makes some of the best solid-state drives out there. They were doing really well in the market with these drives, and then they came out with the M.2 drives, and they have been winning the market like crazy with these. Your normal SSD, your 2.5 and your 3.5 drives all plug in with a cable called Sata. Sata cables can be distinguished by the internal L-shaped connection, as they only have one way to be plugged in, and you can't plug them in the other way. The other end of the Sata cable will usually plug in to the bottom right-hand corner of your motherboard. You can also buy cards that will fit into your PCIe slots, which will add more Sata ports to your motherboard. Your Sata drives will also need to be powered from your power source, and you'll often get cables like this where they have multiple different plugs for multiple different hard drives. These look fairly similar to the Sata drives as they have a little L shape at the bottom, so you can also only plug them in one way. M.2 drives are quite different, as they plug in directly into the motherboard under these heatsinks. On ITX boards, you'll often see on the back there's a little connection on its own, and that's to put one of these drives into the back, like so. One thing to note when buying an M.2 drive is that there's 2 different types. There's a Sata and there's an Nvme kind. Sata M.2 drives are still maxed out at the limited data rate that all Sata drives are maxed out at. Nvme drives, however, have a transfer rate of over 3 gigabits per second, compared to 600 megabit per second in Sata. If you're planning to use your computer mostly for watching downloaded movies, working with documents, and browsing the internet, a hard drive may be a better choice for you, as they offer higher space for less money. If you plan on doing some video editing, plus some mid-range gaming, then a Sata SSD may be for you, as they offer the benefit of higher speeds than hard drives, but also less price than an M.2 drive. If you want the fastest boot times on your operating system, the fastest load times in your applications, the smoothest playback in video editing, and the fastest everything else, then an M.2 Nvme drive is probably for you. I've loaded my operating system, all my applications, and I move all my current video projects onto this M.2 Nvme drive, and I never noticed any lag or slow boot times. If you have a mix of downloaded movies, high-end games, video editing, then a mix of these drives may be best for you, and that's what I do. I have all my movies and my backed up projects on my hard drive, I put most of my games onto my SSD, and I put all my current projects and my operating system on my M.2 drive. That way I use the optimization of all the different drives to the best of their ability. Along with your internal drives, you can also have external drives connected to your computer. These also come in a range of many different options. You can get some external drives that are more rugged, built to be able to be dropped, and handle more harsher environments. You can get some that are much cheaper but are meant for the same reasons. Or you can get other ones which are much bigger, which go much higher in capacity, that offer more benefits. Backup drives like this offer the benefit of being able to plug more devices into the front, which will back up those devices, along with the USB to your PC to back that up as well. I like to have an 8 terabyte backup drive just to back up all my projects and my assets for all my videos. You can also get enclosures for your internal drives. All you have to do is open them up, and inside will be your Sata connection. All you do is take your SSD, plug it in, and then there's a USB connection on the front if you need to transfer your files from your internal drive to another computer. Storage drive prices have been going down in the last while, so you should start looking into how much space you'll actually need before you go out and buy one. If you plan on having multiple different drives, one thing to keep in mind is that some motherboards that have two M.2 slots may turn off one of the SATA ports on the side to be able to have the second M.2 drive working. I found this out the hard way, but I used a small RAID card to plug into my PCIe slot, which I could connect more storage drives to in the future, and that was pretty cool. Speaking of cool, I'll be going through PC cooling in the next video, so be sure you're subscribed and click the bell to make sure you don't miss that video. Thanks for watching, make sure to like this video, follow me on Instagram, and comment down below how much storage you have in your PC. Thanks for watching. Peace.